What's up, everybody? So as you can tell, Dylan is joining me for this video, although she's just turned her back on us. That was kind of rude. There you go. I'll move over a little bit so you can see her. Cute. Anyway, yeah, so today was a 5K race for me, Run Streak Day 300. So in case you're not aware, I'm running every day in 2018, gonna end that on New Year's Eve. So I'll do 365 days. That's all I want to do. All I want to prove to myself. Obviously, I know I can do it. Running at least just a minimum mile, but averaging about 7.3K a day, which is somewhere around 4.5 miles. I think that's about right. Yeah, around 4.5 miles a day is my average. Oh, dilly. Crashed. Cute. Yeah, so today I had a really good time. My personal best in the 5K, keep in mind I've only been running for about 2 years, 2.25 years, somewhere around there. My personal best time is just under 22 minutes. That was on a much flatter course than I ran today. Finished today on a little bit of a long course in about 22:50. Actual 5K time would have been somewhere around 22:20. So only like 20 seconds off my personal best, something like that. But I'm very happy with it. It's a tough course. It's a sharp downhill to start, and then a steady climb for like 2 miles, and then a sharp downhill to finish. So there's a couple, like first kilometer, second, and final kilometer are very fast, and that middle part is just brutal because you really just have to pace yourself and get through it, with the bulk of that hill coming in kilometer 4. So pretty rough. So I actually did like a warm-up lap. I ran the 5K route before the race just as my warm-up. I would normally probably only run like maybe 3K before a 5, but it was very warm, or sorry, very cold today. It was right around freezing, so I wanted to make sure I was nice and warm. And I'm glad that I did run the course as my warm-up, because there were a couple of spots that, you know, I gained some pretty good intel. Now, I've run that course before, but there's a second little section of trail that you have to get on. It had recently been resurfaced and was just in pretty poor condition. So knowing that, I could kind of plan for it for when I got there, knowing that I'd probably lose 15-20 seconds a kilometer once I got to that, because it was just so like soft and sandy and jaggedy and just really crappy. You know, and then just kind of having an idea of like when the real, you know, upswing is going to happen near the end, about how long that actually goes for before having my fast finish. So in any case, I'm happy with my time. Got a really nice, you know, really cool medal this year. Usually they just do like something on, you know, on like a string, like on a piece of rope. This year, you know, like a wooden one on a piece of rope. This one here, they actually had a nice medal. Trick or Treat Trot 2018. All of the proceeds of this go to the YMCA Strong Kids Foundation as well campaign, which the YMCA that is in the local community there where I did this, the girl was saying like 1 in 5 people who actually have like memberships or go there and use those facilities are being assisted in some way. So like, you know, they're not having to pay the full membership price, and it's all because of like different community programs. And then, you know, when we have events like this, that all the proceeds go to that, so that, you know, kids can always have access to exercise and stuff like that. And then, you know, lower income families can also have that access. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, it's a good cause for one. And so this was the first race that I did when I started running. So I did this in October of 2016, and my time, it was the very first race I ever did. It was the first time I'd ever broken 30 minutes on a 5K, and I finished in 28:22. So here we are, you know, 2 years later, and I'm finishing in like, what, 5.5 minutes faster or something like that. So I'm pretty excited about that. That's a nice difference. So I went into this thinking that, you know what, knowing that it's a small event, pretty local, usually doesn't attract many people from very far around, there's actually a chance I could win this. The final times, like the winning time in 2016 when I ran it the first time, was only like 24:30 or something, which sure, that's a respectable 5K time for sure. But like I can run that. That's no problem for me. So like, I almost ran that in my practice in my warm up loop today. So, I was thinking, shit, like if it's like that, I'll probably definitely win it. I think last year the winner was somewhere around the 22-minute mark. And I thought, you know what, that'll be a challenge because it is a tough course and that's at my personal best, but there's a chance. So anyway, the gun goes off and there's a couple people. There's a 10K going on as well. So there were 2 10K runners shot right out. And yeah, I mean, they were running faster than me for sure. But there was these other 2 that I was basically running with for the first kilometer. First kilometer was really fast because it was like quick downhill. Like a sub 4-minute kilometer. I'm running with these guys. They ended up getting me by, it was a guy and a kid. The kid was like 8 years old or something, like really fast runner, like amazing athlete for that young. So the guy could probably run faster than that. I think he was like running with the kid kind of, but they beat me by 7 seconds and 3 seconds. So I took 3rd place. And the thing is, though, I found out afterwards that they showed up like minutes before the race and signed up like on race day morning. And I don't think they were technically doing like race day registration, but they let them, sign up anyway. So it's just funny because 4th place was actually 2 minutes and 40 seconds behind me. So had those 2 not showed up and beat me by like 3 and 7 seconds, I would have won this thing by like almost 3 minutes. So it was just kind of cool. It's just cool to think about. I mean, I don't really care. Obviously, I know there's way faster runners out there than me, and it's not like it would have been a huge deal, but it still would have been nice to be able to say on my 3rd year running it, I actually went and won the thing, but it doesn't matter. It just would have been a play to the ego. So 300 days of running straight of at least a mile, averaging 4.5. I gotta say, feeling pretty good. There's been a few days where it was like, gotta go out and do my mile, and not always like super motivated to go out and run if it's like crappy weather or cold or like raining or something. But you know what? Once it's done, it's like, this is not a big deal. Like, this is not any kind of an issue to go out and run for 10 minutes, And it's kind of rewarding. I just think it'll be cool to be able to look back and say, hey, remember that time I ran every day for a year? At 35, started running at like 33, So it's cool. It's cool. I guess that's about it. I don't know. Run streak, yeah. A couple people have asked me, well, if you're going to run for a whole year, like, how are you going to be okay with breaking that streak? Like, don't you want to keep it going to see how long you can go? And honestly, no, I don't. I honestly believe that I will be a better runner and actually progress even faster by taking proper rest days. Even though it is just going out and running a mile, it's still mental fatigue in a lot of ways. Just having that kind of like thing that you have to do. But having more days off from running, I'll probably still run like 4 or 5 days a week, and just having more time off running will allow me to cross train more, build some strength, and I'm going to focus more on speed work, which I've talked about a little bit before. But yeah, 2019, I'm not going to run any marathons, probably not in 2020 either. And I'm just going to focus on speed, try to get that 5K time down. And if I was doing that on if I'm doing that on a flatter course, or especially if I did it on a track, I know I've got a sub 20 in me. Just going to take a little bit of work to get there. Get that 10K down to somewhere around 43 minutes. I might do a half or two. I'd like to get the half time down to about 140, maybe 145, in that kind of a range. That shouldn't be too difficult. Like, that's a pace I feel very confident, comfortable with. But getting the 5K down and really working on that really like short distance speed, getting that VO2 max up, that's gonna be the biggest thing, I think. But I'm up for the challenge. Ran 3 marathons in my first 2 years running. It's great. A lot of people would want to keep going further and further distances, start running ultras, and yeah, it's something I'd like to do someday, but I just don't want to commit that kind of time now. Jamie's been very, very patient with me over the last couple of years while I'm training for all of these races, and I mean, especially this year, running every single day. So I'm going to take a year to just kind of realign, recenter, and refocus, and work on some other goals. Anyway, we're at about 10 minutes, so I'll wrap this up so it's not too long. We've got Dylan in the background signing out, having some kind of little cat dream there. We've got our little jack-o'-lantern. Really excited about this. This is a cool lanyard that it's on too, Halloween. But yeah, all right. Thanks very much for watching, guys. Appreciate all the support on here, on Strava, on all of my other social medias. They're all linked down below. And until next time, peace.